So, our first episode of the Peter Bowles Conversational Cul-de-sac, Brown Sitcoms, generated quite a bit of interest.
Yeah, proved very popular actually.
Yeah.
And still is.
And still is. But we had a lot of people giving us really good feedback, but saying, where was this? Where was that? And wanting other episodes with more Brown
There's
sitcoms.
so much Brown.
There is so much Brown. So welcome, one and all, to Brown Sitcoms Revisited.
Yes.
Now, I want to start with... No, you're not too familiar with this one, are you? The Gaffer.
Yeah, I've heard of it, certainly. I don't think I've ever seen an episode, I'll be honest.
Well, Bill Maynard, only 3 series, 20 episodes.
Okay.
So it didn't run for a long time. But yeah, I mean, very Brown. Very Brown. It was set in a northern engineering firm. So,
Okay.
yeah, it was very dark, very dingy. But
Yep.
my abiding memory of it is the opening titles where he's driving around in his really old Rover P6, chucking all the parking tickets out the window.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that at all.
No, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, Bill Maynard, suit, hat, real grumpy, trying to keep his grotty little firm going.
Well, I was going to say, what was he in the show? Was he a manager of a factory?
He was the owner, come manager, come gaffer, using the old of this engineering firm. And it was about his trials and tribulations of trying to get money and pay his debts, and union shop stewards always going on strike and that sort of thing.
See, ironically, I think the only time I've ever come across this is on a particular DVD website that does a lot of the programs we watch, and I think they had the front cover. It's being released for sale, and I know him as Greengrass.
Yeah,
and I know him as Greengrass from Heartbeat, and also from Carry On movies back in the day. That's that's the sort of things I know him from. And I didn't know about this show until that, I'll be honest. But you obviously do. You know about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I remember seeing as a kid. Always tried to hunt down DVDs, whatever, now available, but weren't so freely available.
Only fairly rare over the last couple of years or so.
However, all episodes, as far as I'm aware, are available on YouTube. So I've just re-watched them on YouTube.
Oh, really?
And it's very of its time.
I might have to go and watch some of those, because like I say, I don't think I've ever seen any of it, I'll be honest. None of it at all.
Well, mate, it's well worth a watch. Now, obviously, you touched on Bill Maynard being in the Carry On films, along with another colleague of his, Terry Scott. Now, this leads me nicely onto one of your favourites.
It is, Terry and June.
But it was originally Terry and June, was it?
No, originally. It's a bit of a strange situation. Basically, Terry and June broadcast on the BBC. Very successful. Off the top of my head, something like 9 series, I think it was. But before that, again, also on the BBC, Terry and June starred in Happy Ever After.
Yeah, so you told us, and I have no recollection of it whatsoever.
It also very successful. Ran for about 6 series before it. The story behind it is Happy Ever After was the first show. Terry and June played Terry and June. I think it was Fletcher. I think was their surname in that particular one. Medford in Terry and June, but they were Terry and June Fletcher in Happy Ever After. They ran into this situation, kids had left home, and they had June's aunt come to live with them with her minor bird. But the basic synopsis was extremely, was very much the same. And what happened was the show writers had decided after 6 series or whatever it was, enough was enough, and they were getting rid of the show. But BBC were getting such good ratings, they didn't want to cancel it. So what the BBC did was
they rebooted it.
They basically restarted it, changed their surname, moved them from, I can't remember which one. One of them was set in Purley, one of them wasn't. I think the first one was set somewhere else, and then they moved to Purley. Changed the surname to Medford, got rid of the aunt and the minor bird, bizarrely, which was an incredibly popular feature of the first series, and that's Terry and June was born for another 9 series.
Yeah, of just comedy escapades in the suburbs. My abiding memory of that is Terry. She comes out with the drinks on a tray at the beginning, and he sits in a chair, and the chair collapses. Oh, hilarity! June.
What's interesting though is I've rewatched them all recently. Terry and June always remember. Happy Ever After I knew about, but I'm not sure I'd ever seen them. Having watched both series recently, there's some episodes from the original series Happy Ever After that were basically reworked into Terry and June. Despite the fact there was a different writing crew and all this, they basically reworked the episodes. I mean, one of them almost identically.
Yeah, so what you're saying is they were struggling for ideas and just rehashed.
And they just plagiarised the original series, basically.
Like you do, yeah.
Like you do, but I love those. I mean, like I say, 15 series, I think, between the two, all in, something like that.
15, though.
15, a lot of episodes.
How did they stretch that out?
I think Terry Scott as an actor, well, I think he was quite good. I think it ended in 1987, I think, when the last Terry and June was broadcast, something like that. Obviously, the landscape of comedy had changed a lot in that period, and maybe it had grown stale somewhat.
Suburban slapstick.
I think so.
Because I suppose the alternative comedians were coming in by then, weren't they?
They
were.
Vic
and Aid and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you think of Vic and Aid, they sort of were around, I don't know, 1982, something like that. So they'd been bubbling for a few years, and they would normally play, sort of slapstick approach to that sensible comedy like Terry and June, that family-oriented comedy. they'd mock it, and that's what they did. But I love Terry and June and Happy Ever After. I do. It's a soft spot for me, and very brown.
Brown, touching on beige, I reckon.
Yeah, I think beige is an acceptable reference to brown.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to these sitcoms, I mean, you think of beige, and surely Ain't Half Hot Mum, Sand, very beige.
Well, I was going to come to that because obviously the sad demise recently of Windsor Davis.
Yes.
So we needed stuff
very
on that.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was obviously set in the army, the Army Entertainment Corps or something like that.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
The troops.
Entertainment troops in India in World War II. I'd call that khaki.
Yeah. Khaki.
I'd call it khaki. It's the army.
Brown sitcoms plus beige and khaki sitcoms here, so it's fine. Yeah, that's okay. That counts. Windsor Davies, brilliant character. Obviously, the idea behind that show was him wanting to get the guys fighting. That's what he was. He was an army sergeant in that truest sense.
Well, he was a proper
sergeant major drill
instructor. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I've got some. That's 8 series, 56 episodes.
Again, you just wonder how many episodes.
How did they stretch that to 8 series?
I mean, really?
Because also, again, there was a lot of comedy crossover. You've
Yep.
got Mike the barman for Only Fools and Horses. Was it?
Yeah, I think one of the most famous Mike the barman. Yeah, absolutely.
Mike the barman. George Layton, who wrote Don't Wait Up, the sitcom with Nigel Hoverstone Britain, and was also an episode of Minder.
I think I'm right in saying that he actually left He Ain't Half Hot Mum after the first or second series. The character left, and obviously so did the act, because he was going to write. Also, some weird crossovers, bizarrely on another one. He was also played one of 2 Australian villains in 2 episodes of The Sweeney.
So he got around a bit.
Again, traditional 70s fare in terms of what programmes he's sort of done bit parts in.
And of course, Ain't Half Hot Mum also spawning a UK #1 single with Windsor Davis and
Donna Estelle.
Donna Estelle.
Yes.
Remember the name of the song?
Was it Whispering Grass?
Whispering
something like that?
Grass, yeah.
Yes.
With Little Don singing it all serious in his like
baritone kind of
and
voice.
Then Windsor just doing a few sort of lovely boys in the background.
It works. Again.
Well, it obviously worked with the public.
We discussed earlier. We touched upon briefly Carry On stalwarts. Again, Windsor Davies. He was in them as well, doing Ernest.
Ernest. Yes. Him and Jack Douglas as the little double X.
Yeah, a lot of Carry On crossovers we noticed from a lot of these films and TV programmes.
So how are we feeling about Some Mothers Do Have Them? That was another one we had asked about.
When you look at what he wears, very brown.
Oh,
the brown flared corduroy sordid trousers that
I think there was like a pink wing collar shirt maybe knocking around.
Yeah, and a tight tank top, tight sort of knitted tank top over the top.
I love a tight knitted tank top.
Love them.
That only ran for 3 series, 23 episodes.
That's right, which included 3 Christmas sort of extended episodes.
Yeah, so how did that not stretch out as much as the others one? I suppose there were so many situations that he could have been in.
I personally think it was him as an actor. Now, I don't know the full ins and outs. I have a feeling that he wanted to move on to other things. Obviously, we all know that he went on to do theatre and big productions, non-comedy. Phantom was the big one, I think. So I think he moved on to do other things. He outgrew the show.
My defining image of him is always on the roller skates, going down the road. Is it the removals truck? Or the bedding truck.
I think he goes into the mattress bedding truck.
And all the feathers flying
and
everywhere.
the puff of feathers out the back end as he goes in.
The cat's done a whoopsie.
Yep, the beret.
Ooh, Betty.
Yep, all those
raincoat
things.
And a beret. Another raincoat.
Loving a lot of raincoat.
Colombo, but we've done that one.
We've touched on Colombo already, it's fine.
Yeah, ooh, Betty. I've done a whoopsie on the carpet.
Yeah, the cat done a whoopsie on the carpet or something. Yeah, absolutely. But it worked. Let's be honest. I must admit, if I was to watch one of them now, I would still laugh at things.
Yeah, see, I'm different. If I watched one of them now, he'd annoy me too much.
I
don't want to slap him. And
no,
say, sort yourself out.
You're
married. You've got a baby.
Yes.
In later episodes.
Yeah.
Sort yourself out, man.
I do admit it is an annoying character, but I personally can't help but sort of laugh at him, and not laugh at him in a detrimental kind of way. I just do just laugh at the situations he's in. I take it for what it is, basically a bit of slapstick.
Now, on to another one of your favourites, on the buses.
Yes.
We had a couple of people asking about, where's that?
Yeah, it was asked about, I mean,
I can't think of this as brown. I think this is red because of the buses, but you know.
Well, you say that the buses were green in the TV series. Yes.
See, I bow to your knowledge.
In the TV series, the Luxton and County, or Luxton Bus Company, but essentially it might be N County, I'm not quite sure. Apologies, Luxton District perhaps. Quite local to us because they used the Eastern National buses. They're real life buses that were in service. There was one that is quite a famous one that was driven by Reg Varney, because Reg Varney did actually take a bus driving licence. The public service licence, whichever it was called back in the day. He actually took that licence just so he could drive buses for bits of the show.
Yeah.
Only very small bits, like anything, a lot of studio, but on on locations occasionally. And the bus that he actually drove, they were Bristol Low-Deckers, and take my word for that one, I do know about these things, sadly. And they were basically Eastern National buses. They were real buses that were in service. The exterior shots for one of the bus stations in the earlier episodes was an Eastern National bus garage at Wood Green. Okay. And they actually just put their logos over the original Eastern National logos. Yeah. Ironically, in some shots, you can still see the Eastern National logo on the buses. They haven't actually covered it up properly.
Continuity.
Yeah. But I go for more black and white. And obviously, early episodes in black and white. As with some of the later ones, they sort of mixed in a little bit during colour strikes and these various things that happened in ITV back in the day. But I think this is rare because this was an ITV comedy programme which lasted for 7 series. Yeah. ITV weren't renowned for making comedies. Not overall. I think the BBC was more comedy driven than ITV. Yeah. Or LWT or all its predecessor, ATV and its various predecessor names that they used to use. Effectively ITV. And but this was one that lasted. I mean, 7 series and 3 feature films. Now, of various quality. Yes, this might be why you thought red. Because the buses in the films were red. It was a completely different company they drove for. It was the Town District, completely different bus company, different kinds of buses. The basic synopsis or the basic kind of vibe was there. It was Stan, it was Jack, it was Blakey. They were the 3 constants, and obviously Mum, Arthur and Olive were there as well. Continuity thrown out completely in those films. In the films, for instance, I know we're doing sitcoms, but we can divulge into the films a little bit.
Well, they're comedy films based on a brand sitcom.
And I think that in the first film, Olive gives birth to the first child, so it's the nephew of Stan. And towards the end of the episode, she's pregnant again, or I believe, in the first or second of the films. But of course, by the time the third film rolls around, when the child's older, the second potential child is just not mentioned. It's gone. What's also odd about those is in the TV series, Arthur and Olive actually divorce. They divorce between Series 6 and Series 7. Arthur, Michael Robbins, isn't featured in Series 7. Arthur's gone. He's gone off. Olive's got a divorce. In the film, obviously, they're still together come the third film, which isn't chronologically... They're not chronologically linked, no, basically. I think they're just standalone features made by Hammer Horror fame.
Well, Hammer Studios, obviously more famous for making horror films.
I think there's, to my knowledge, and I will bow down to anyone who corrects us on this, only 3 Hammer comedy films, which was the 3 on the Buses movies.
Blimey, did not know that.
I think everything else was Hammer Horror.
Mind you look at Blakey, he looks like he's going to have a horror film, isn't he?
That was the whole point, wasn't it? Oh, Dracula. Yeah. That was the whole... Which, ironically, in one of the episodes... I love it. In one of the episodes, he's standing by a poster that's on the side of the bus, and the whole point is that he looks like Dracula who's on it. And actually, that's for the Cliff Pavilion in Southend.
Wow.
Yes.
That is very local.
That is very local to us.
I hate you, brother. Can't believe much there.
So, come on, name another one. Name another Brown sitcom. What you got for me?
Well, I wanted to still talk about On the Buses, because looking back...
How so?
As children, as we were, looking back now, slightly creepy that Stan is...
what, you mean a sort of 45, 50-year-old
man still living at home with his mum, chasing young dolly birds? That's something creepy about it, I think.
Well, I always think that with that particular programme, it was never referenced how old they were. As far as I know, again, I will bow down to anyone who mentions this, but I don't think it was mentioned.
You don't need to reference their age, do you?
No.
When you look at them.
Oh, no, very much not.
They're almost pensioners.
Yeah, but also Arthur and Olive living there with mother as well.
Yeah, but that could just be like a financial situation. They can't afford a mortgage, let's live with my mum.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Whereas Stan's just living at home with his mum, chasing dolly birds.
Except in Series 7.
When he's like 50 years old.
In Series 7, Reg Varney, obviously the main driving force behind the show, had actually left the show midway through Series 7. And the character located to Birmingham to work for a car factory, which, let's be honest, it must have been related to the British Motor Corporation, British Leyland, whatever you want to reference it as. It went through various iterations. Yeah. That was the whole point, was that character had gone off because in the 70s, the British car industry was huge in the 70s, and everything was British Leyland, British. So the character went off to work because he could get more money working in a Birmingham car factory. So Series 7 was slightly odd, especially halfway through when the main actor left, and they actually moved Blakey into the house with Olive Arthur.
God. This is getting very contrived
as someone
now.
renting a room. Just renting a room there. Yeah. And of course, Jack, next door neighbour, ex-best friend of Reg, constantly round. Ironically, I think that Blakey and Jack, the actors portraying them, actually wrote most of Series 7. They had wrote a few episodes beforehand, but they always worked together. When they wrote together. Yeah. So they always worked as a double act in terms of their writing, and they actually wrote most of that Series 7. And I think George Layton as well, who we mentioned earlier, I think he actually wrote a few of the episodes for some of the series on the bus, especially the later ones.
Yeah.
Again, in his comedy partnership, writing partnership that he had. I can't remember who it's with. Tended to work as a double act. And I think he again wrote some of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I could go on forever about On the Bus. I really could.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one to
you.
Yeah.
What else have you got? What's next?
What about our friends from Oil Drum Lane?
Ah, okay. I know where you're going with this. Go on, go for it.
That's Steptoe and Son.
Interesting. Originally black and white. The first few series, three series, maybe 3-4 series, something like that. I think that Harry H. Corbett wanted to move on and go into more serious acting.
Yeah.
I think parts were scarce. He was so associated.
But he was another one who's
with them,
the sort of crying clown type character. He had a lot of demons and alcohol and all that. I
think
so.
Stuff. I think he's quite a pain, but I know that he wanted to go into more serious acting, and he tried with a few various things. And I think in the end, the BBC had such high ratings that they just brought them back in for the colour episodes.
Yeah.
You can reference it as the black and white episodes, then the brown episodes.
Yeah.
I think very on topic.
With in the bath eating the pickled onions. You dirty old man.
See, I have to admit, of all the episodes, my favourite is when they divide the house into.
Yes. I
absolutely love that. There's a turnstile into the kitchen and up the stairs,
and
etc.
Harold wants to watch the opera, whatever it is, and his dad wants to watch the football or something
like that.
They've got
the TV. One of them, I think, has got the channels, if you like, the knobs on the TV for the channels.
Yeah.
The other one controlling the sound, I think. Yeah, the volume.
That's right.
So it's a stupid thing. I mean, who would actually divide their house up quite like that?
Because again, this is a theme we go back to with these sitcoms, that there's always a character who's has middle class aspirations, better themselves. So obviously Harold didn't want to be a rag and bone man.
No,
the son of a rag and bone man.
I think
his father was always holding him back.
Yeah, I think the character of the dad, I think, done whatever he could
to keep him.
Yeah, to keep him there with him. And I mean, you could look into it deeply, and you think that one person's just trying to better themselves and the other one is scared of change and just trying to keep the other one with them. I think if you look into it really deeply, I think it does come down to that. But I think that's where Galton and Simpson, I think they wrote better, didn't they? Galton's. Obviously many other shows as well, but I think they, again, this is my surmising of their writing. I don't know. I've no real insight into this, obviously, but I think they did that deliberately. They had this character who was trying to better themselves and this other one who's so scared of change, is just trying to keep them, but of course brought to life by Harry H. Corbett and Wilfrid Bramble.
Yeah, because there was also a spin-off for it. Was it Steptoe and Son Rides Again?
Well, no, there was two films, Steptoe and Son and Steptoe and Son Rides Again.
Yeah, because isn't that the one where Harold meets the exotic dancer and he is going to go off and marry her?
I think that's the first of the films. Yeah,
Dad spoils it, and that got quite sort of dark.
It did.
I remember.
Ironically, when you look at the series, you can laugh at them and you can laugh at the films, but I think the films are a sense darker. Maybe the series is actually darker when you actually watch it properly at some of the things going on. But if you just have a quick glance, so to speak, I think the film's got a darker context in that respect. Him just trying to spoil everything. And I think the second one is, I think the second film, The Rides Again, is a bit more back to form, because I think if memory serves, that's the one with the racehorse with the glasses. They get a greyhound.
Yeah, it's coming back to me now.
And they put spectacles on it because it can't see. It's more traditional Steptoe comedy, so to speak. It's more outlandish, stupid humour.
Yeah.
But it works, don't get me wrong.
Well, one thing to say about that, you disgust me.